All right, everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive.
Always.
Today, we're tackling something that's small in size, but big in impact. Inductors.
Yeah, those tiny little components that we find all over in our electronics.
But honestly, most of us probably have no idea what they actually do.
Right, like they're kind of just these mysterious little things just sitting there.
So to help us crack the code, we're going straight to the source, the authority on this stuff. Del Toro's Fundamentals of Electrical Engineering.
A classic.
A classic. We're going to try to make this as painless as possible, but, electrical engineering can be a bit...
Intense.
Intense, yeah. Buckle up. But I promise by the end of this, you'll have a much better grasp on these little inductors.
You'll be able to impress all your friends.
All right, so Del Toro tells us that the core function of an inductor is to store magnetic energy.
That's the key right there.
Magnetic energy. Okay, I got to ask, can you maybe unpack that a little bit? What does that actually mean?
Yeah, so it's not as complicated as it might sound. Whenever electricity flows through a wire, it actually creates a force field around that wire.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, a magnetic field. And an inductor, what it is essentially it's just a coiled up wire.
Okay.
And they're designed to basically amplify, make this magnetic field even stronger.
So it's kind of like taking that force field and just like really concentrating it.
Exactly. So as that electricity's flowing through all those coils, all those loops, it's like we're pumping energy into that magnetic field and we're storing it there for later use.
Huh. So it's kind of like a battery, but for magnetism.
Yeah, that's a great way to think about it.
Okay.
And just like a battery can release its stored energy to, turn on a light bulb or power something,
Right.
An inductor can release that stored magnetic energy to do a ton of different things in a circuit.
Wow. Okay, that's really starting to make sense to me. I read somewhere that these things are used like everywhere in power electronics, like all over the place.
Oh, right.
Can you give us like a real world example? How does this magic actually work in, say, a smartphone?
Oh, great question. Smartphones are packed with them, but one of the most important things they do is actually managing the flow of electricity.
Okay.
They act like traffic controllers, making sure the right amount of power goes to the right component at the right time.
Oh, I see.
Because those tiny little components, like in your screen or your processor, they can get fried very easily if there's a sudden power surge.
That makes sense.
And inductors can prevent that.
So they're like little bodyguards for our phones.
Exactly.
What-
Unsung heroes.
Yeah. So, Del Toro, how does his book, Fundamentals of Electrical Engineering, tie into all of this?
Well, it's like the foundation, right? It delves into the really nitty-gritty, all the core principles of how electricity behaves. And then, of course, it goes into how we can use components like inductors to actually manipulate it and control it.
Okay.
And that's the beauty of Del Toro, is he doesn't just tell you what an inductor does.
Yeah.
He gets into the why.
The science behind it.
The science behind it, exactly. How it actually interacts with other components in a circuit.
Oh, wow. Okay. So what we've learned is that inductors are essentially tiny coils of wire.
Right.
They store magnetic energy.
Yep.
And they act kind of like little traffic controllers for electricity.
Making sure everything runs smoothly.
And without them, our smartphones would be toast.
They would be very unhappy.
So it's pretty amazing to think, we've got this whole complicated world of electronics.
Yeah.
And it's all thanks to these teeny tiny components that most people don't even know exist.
And here's something even crazier to think about.
Oh.
What if the inductor hadn't even been invented?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would we still have all this incredible technology that we take for granted?
I don't know.
It's a fascinating question.
Yeah. Makes you appreciate, the little things.
Yeah, the building blocks of everything.
So big shout out to the inductor.
The inductors.
Thank you, as always, for joining us on this deep dive.
Absolutely.
We'll see you next time.
See you then.
Bye.